friend. Friends, you are welcome to join me in magic, ceremonial magic of the solar life force of the goddess Kundalini. We all need the spark of life within us. I'm Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis, and I will be willing to be your guide. Would you please anoint your brow with some water? Good. That's it. Now, I want you to relax completely, but don't lose consciousness. We want your body to enjoy this as well. I want you to rise now from your body back into the past, back into the time of Scorpio in Ireland. Across the ocean, we circle around Ireland until we notice a flame colour in the southeast. We see two rivers reflecting the setting sun of autumn. Now we notice this flame colour is coming from an ancient castle situated between the two rivers and surrounded by 7 hills and a violet mountain, and we see it is far crested from a pre-diluvian cairn, the ancient cairn of Mount Leinster. And we begin to descend into the temple. We find ourselves by a holy well, and there are priests and priestesses around and practitioners of magic. The priests, the magician I should call him really, wears a golden headdress and golden crimson robes. He wears a winged disc pectoral and holds a gold staff tipped with the winged disc. The enchantresses, one enchantress, in fact there are 2 of them, wears a gold-rayed headdress and golden yellow robes. The other one is wearing a silver headdress and silver robes, and all the practitioners are wearing colours according to the planets, whichever planet presides over their rising sign. The Hierophant of the Temple of Isis, the Reverend Lawrence Durden Robertson, welcomes all these practitioners to the Holy Well.
Brothers and sisters, and speak to the 7 holy planets. We will invoke the inner sun, the divine sun goddess, for without her our lives are as dust, flavorless, without love.
Now the enchantress draws water from the well and speaks words as she anoints each brow.
I anoint each of you with this holy water, that you may awaken to the mysteries of the goddess Kundalini.
However, after being anointed, we realize there's to be a procession out of the temple. Where are they going? The procession passes 9 pillars. They reach a beautiful garden lined with a yew walk 600 years old. They make procession in the evening light down this yew walk. Go down this, it's like a long tunnel with light at the end. tunnel facing the southwest, the priesthood and all these magicians and practitioners move to the right. They make procession through a palm garden and begin to ascend a mound bordered by lime trees. Where are they going? We find an extraordinary building concealed as an Irish barn, 80 foot by 80 foot, white, with silver grey roof. It is polarized to the cairn of Mount Leinster. Come with the practitioners and circle this strange building from left to right. Having made this circumambulation, the priest would enter a small red door. What is inside? Come. And we enter, and we see before us 24 standing stones. There are pairs of them at each quarter, giant doorways, north, east, south and west. We are entering at the south gate. Further in, another 8 stones in pairs, again forming a perfect square. These look like magnetization tables made of blue slate. In the center, another 8 monoliths in pairs of Kilkenny marble, black marble. These surround a perfect square filled with many-coloured stones. We look up and we see that the ceiling is composed of domes, dome-shaped in a square, and the centre is open. So this forms, as it were, the dome of the sky, now pricked with the stars of evening at the time of Scorpio in November. The priest Hierophant welcomes the companions to the temple of the Monolith.
I welcome you to the temple of the Monolith.
However, suddenly we see they are looking towards the western gateway, where are 2 great granite slabs higher than a human. Before this is a statue, and yet it cannot be a statue because it is covered with flame-coloured garment, and there's a faint movement as if some being were beneath it. We realize that this is a priestess in deep trance. The magician, the first magician, approaches her. He offers incense to her. Those who are psychic see a shaking in the air like steam, a halo of golden light, and some may even see a woman's form.
I offer incense to thee, awe-inspiring goddess of liquid fire, whose serpent doth coil herself round the tree of life. Hearken to our prayer. Bring us the 7 apples of power, the power to know, to love, to take, to give, to rejoice, to grow, to join in the dance of creation. Yet protect us, weak as we are, from the consuming fires of Kali, lest we be unprepared for thy awakening from the depths.
Realize that we may be vouchsafed the oracle. This does not always happen. Suddenly we hear a voice behind the veil.
You do well to invoke my power. For without me, though you have thought, feeling and existence, yet you dwell in the delusion of sloth and death. Fear me not. I would that all beings should enjoy the fiery breath of my serpent, that brings ecstasy and eternal bliss. Not from ambition, nor from end-seeking, nor from desire to probe my secrets shall you come to me. For wrong motive will inevitably lead to your destruction, until you learn more wisdom and tread the path of the virtues. To draw my power from the great deep, revere the earth, your mother, through the senses. Touch the earth with the palms of your hands and kiss the ground. To bring down my power from the heavens, look upwards and wonder at the sun and the moon and the stars. So by your gaze shall you feel their harmonious influence. Call me to you, but understand that no prayers, no virtuous activity, no meditation, no aspiration, no self-inflicted penances, not even adoration, will call me forth from my mystic cave. For I came through my will, to the foolish, to the wise, to the prepared, and to the unprepared, to the saint, to the criminal. None may tell the hour of my coming, nor to whom I will come. Nonetheless, the wise prepare themselves, lest their habitation be destroyed by my fire. Whether through the rushing of a powerful wind, through thunder and volcano, or through the song of birds and the dance of butterflies, or through silence. I must come that you may awaken and live.
All fold their hands in thanksgiving to the holy goddess Kundalini, who has vouchsafed her oracle. The high priest, the archpriest, now declares that the invocation to the guardians of the planets be made.
I declare it is now time that invocation to the guardians of the planets shall be made.
Saith Mars, are not the powerful rays of Ra, the sun we see and feel, sufficient for our needs? For we are born and live our lives in cycles, and finally we die. Wherefore should we wish for our hidden mother, the sun goddess, now that we are born and no longer need her protecting care?
Divine Venus knows that we would live in harmony evermore. Without the inner sun of beauty, we are as nothing.
With Mercury, the winged one, I would attain the stars and contemplate the galaxy. Let our forgotten mother, the hidden one, show herself, so that she may bestow upon us the gnosis.
Without the compassionate goddess, the great sun god is fierce and blinding, and devours the planets and all creatures. Let joy and serenity come to him through the goddess. May Surya and Surya, sun god and goddess, share their love with us, so may we rejoice with Jupiter.
Saturn knows not this sun goddess, for he cannot prove her existence. With his practical knowledge, she has hidden herself in a cave, the void, so it is believed.
Uranus dreams of her with longing, but dare not invoke her for fear of the sun god's wrath, who alone would have our homage.
Neptune knows her, for he knows the future, but he cannot invoke her on his own. Without each of you, I cannot invoke the awe-inspiring inner sun, the serpent goddess Kundalini. She it is who follows the path of the serpent on the high roads of the sun. Know that the goddess shines in the fullness of her lustre like lightning. She is fine like the lotus fibre, curled 3.5 times round herself. When she rises up the tree, she hisses. Mars would feel this magic fire and be mighty.
Saturn must understand this liquid fire and increase his knowledge. So now the seven wish to invoke her. It is not enough. The outer sun Ra must long for her presence. Though her coming bring the inner shaking and tumult, hear how the goddess Isis obtained the secret name of Ra, in return for the serpent power which she bestowed upon him. Isis took the spirit of Ra, which she found upon the ground, and she kneaded it with earth in her hand, and she formed thereof a sacred serpent in the form of a dart. She did not set it upright before her face, but let it lie upon the ground in the path whereby the great god Ra went forth. And Ra came forth according to his daily wont, and the sacred serpent bit him, and he was overcome.
When the great God had stabilized his heart, he cried out, saying, A dire calamity hath fallen upon me. My heart perceiveth it, but my eyes see it not. I came forth to look upon that which I had made. I was passing through the world which I had created, when lo, something stung, but what I know not. Is it fire? Is it water? My heart is on fire, my flesh quaketh, and trembling hath seized all my limbs.
And Isis came, bringing with her words of magical power, and her mouth was full of life. For her word make live again the threats of those who are dead. And Isis said unto Ra, Tell thy name unto me, for he shall live whose name shall be revealed.
And Ra spoke these words, As I have been overcome by the bite of the serpent of liquid fire sent to me by Isis, my name shall pass from me into her. So in the name of Ra let the sun goddess be invoked from her hidden cave. The seven seals shall be broken, and the seven sleepers awake from the cave wherein they dream.
Here the whole company make a dance of liquid fire up their bodies. Feel now this power yourself. Move, dance, bend your spine as if it were a serpent. Your spine is like a serpent. Dance, dance. Dance, feel this power rising up your spine, up to your foot, as it rose through the body of Ra. Feel this power up your spine, your sex center, your plexus, your hidden center, your wings, your heart, your throat, your head. Be rayed like the sun from the top of your head. And now all the company are seated, and they intone the names Isis Ra. the holy names through you, goddess and god. Feel the inner fire of Isis, the light above your head, the fire in your body, perfect harmony. The light is one, but the sensations are different. You feel a warm glow in your spine, silvery power in throat and head, shining around you. White, warm flame in your heart, orange in your plexus, deep carmine and blue between your blades. Everyone feels colours in different ways. Just circulate the power. Circulate it round you. As you sit, you begin to hear sound. You begin to hear the inner harmony of the spheres. And you know that the secret name of Ra is your own secret name, your own vibration. Each person has a particular sound. That is your secret name. Some tunes can affect you. Have you thought why? Certain notes. Feel each of your psychic chakras respond to sound. Each colour has a radiation. As we sit in this place, the wind makes sound through the domed roof. And some say they can hear deep voices of monks chanting. Others hear a higher octave, what they call angel singing. Chant yourself. Won't be heard. Chant. Chant in your mind. Join. Now men and women sing together. Can you see the auras of all present, not only your own? And sounds blending in one harmony. All are from the One, born of the Goddess. Fire of Kundalini within all. Fire of Isis and Ra. You are one with all beings, all life. Friends, you are welcome back to the Temple of the Monolith, where we are practicing the magic of the goddess Kundalini and Isis of solar power. The magician steps forward and holds up his magical staff.
Let the 7 seals be broken and the 7 sleepers awakened from the cave wherein they dream.
Not so fast. Discretion is needed. Hast thou reflected that the inmates of the cave were one of the divine signs? There were 7 youths and 1 dog that betook them to sleep in a cave. So it is written in an ancient scripture. They were struck with deafness in the cave for many a year, and thou mightest have seen the sun when it arose pass on the right side of the cave, and when it set, leave them on the left, while they were in its spacious chamber. This is one of the signs of deity, and thou wouldst have deemed them awake, though they were sleeping. And we turned them to the right and to the left, and in the entry lay their dog with paws outstretched. Hadst thou come suddenly upon them, thou wouldst surely have turned thy back on them in flight, and have been filled with fear at them. Dangerous is it to break the 7 seals. Far more dangerous to awaken the 7 sleepers.
I think we realize now what the 7 sleepers are. Do not regard this as a mere empty warning. It is extremely dangerous to awaken the 7 sleepers within yourself unless you do so with love and wisdom, also discretion and a good teacher. However, magicians will always do magic.
Those who invoke the goddess Kundalini need the courage to accept greater life, whatever the risks involved.
But also is it needful to have virtue to live it well. The divine words of power need to be spoken, that the peaceful deities may protect us from behind, overshadowing us. Also, the 7 planets must be in harmony with each other and with deity. The prayers of the planets need now be spoken.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion because of the power of violent anger. On the radiant light path of the virtue-seeking wisdom, may the divine Mother of infinite space be my rear guard.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion because of deliberate stupidity. On the radiant light path of the mirror-like wisdom, may the divine Mother, she of the Buddha eye, be my rear guard.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion because of the power of ignorant egotism. On the radiant light path of the wisdom of equanimity, may the divine Mother Mamaki be my rear guard.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion because of the power of selfish jealousy. On the radiant light path of the all-performing wisdom, may the Divine Mother, the faithful Tara, be my rear guard.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion through the power of the 5 poisons of envy, hatred, pride, and cruelty. On the bright radiance path of the 4 wisdoms united, may the 5 orders of divine mothers be my rear guard.
Alas, I was wandering in delusion because of the power of fanatical attachment. On the radiant light path of the discriminating wisdom, may the Divine Mother, she of the white raiment, be my rear guard.
O ye knowledge-holding deities, pray hearken unto me. Lead me on the path out of your great love. When I am wandering in delusion because of devouring obsession, on the bright light path of the simultaneously born wisdom, may the orders of Adepti, the knowledge-holders, lead me. May the orders of the mothers, the Dakini, be my rear guard. May they save me from the follies of delusion and place me in the pure paradise realms. Protected by the mothers because we practice the virtues, let us now break the 7 seals and awake the 7 sleepers.
Not by incantations alone, nor by the practice of the virtues alone, is the inner sun awakened within us. Know that the sun, goddess Amaterasu, concealed herself in a cave. The deities themselves could not persuade her to come forth. Only of her will did she emerge, enticed by the Kagura, the divine dance of the goddess Amino Uzumi. Uzumi came before the door of the rock cave, wherein the sun goddess lay concealed.
Now we see this ancient mystery, source of the no plays, of all no plays of Japan, being performed. We see the priests and priestesses, the enchantresses, the practitioners devoid of divine light. There is no sound, no music. They look lost in thought, as if in desperate desire to understand. They are wandering all round the house of the monument, tapping on the stones and looking at them and, as it were, measuring them and trying to understand this extraordinary place. But they have everything, obviously, learning and wisdom, but they lack the divine light. What they wish to call forth is the sun goddess, Amaterasu, concealed in a cave, which again is Isis power, Kundalini power. They cannot call her forth. They stretch forth their hands to a monolith in the place of the north, where the sun hides itself in winter time, and call upon her. But nothing happens. Suddenly, a beautiful girl, without any grandeur, but in ordinary clothes, suddenly jumps right into the centre of the house of the monoliths, not bothering about the stones, but holding her arms out to the sky above. She binds up her sleeves with 2 serpent-like cords, and she's tied a band of vine round her head. She really looks ridiculous. And she's binding together bundles of leaves to hold in her hands. What on earth is she doing? Everybody begins roaring with laughter. Suddenly, she turns over an ordinary, vulgar kitchen utensil, a brazen one, throws it over on the hard floor, and it makes a clash. What happened? Suddenly, from the place of the north, concealed by a monolith, a radiantly lovely being appears. She is veiled in darkness. She throws off the veil. She is crouching upon the floor, and she begins to dance. She is wearing a golden rayed headdress and golden garments. She performs the dance of the risen sun, the dance of the goddess Amaterasu. She is rising from the cave, All begin to call, Amaterasu, rise, come from your cave.
Amaterasu, arise from your cave.
Amaterasu, Amaterasu, rise, come from your cave.
Come out, Amaterasu, come from your cave.
Amaterasu, Amaterasu, come from your cave. Amaterasu, 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 rise, come, arise. The goddess rises and holds forth her hands to the sky. All rejoice with the words, Amaterasu, the sun goddess, has risen.
Amaterasu, the sun
Goddess has risen. Amaterasu, the sun goddess has risen.
Amaterasu, the sun
Amaterasu, the sun goddess has risen.
Amaterasu, the sun goddess
Amaterasu, the sun goddess has risen. Chant these words in yourself and join in the dance of the risen sun. The participants weave in and out of the monolith. Dance, dance. Do you feel within yourself the light of the inner sun? Now, the practitioners come forward and light 7 lamps set in a circle from a central charcoal fire within the monolith. They are forming a circle, arches with their arms. The enchantresses and magicians weave their way through these arches, and the 7 follow, until the final arch is made by Uranus and Neptune. This is the dance of the sacred 7 planets. Finally, all guardians of the planets meet at the center, facing each other, with upraised palms, and they form a 10-rayed star. Watch this wonderful dance, while the other practitioners form 3 circles, one left to right, Dacial, the other Widdishins, and the outer left to right. Visualize the beauty of this scene. 7 robed as the planets, moving in and out, archway in a dance round the central charcoal fire, surrounded by 7 lamps, others forming 3 circles. Join in the dance of creation. Creation is within yourself. Think of any project you wish to bring to culmination. You can only do this with the creative fire of your inner sun. The dance is slowing down gradually. As the dance ends, roles are reversed. Those who went from left to right go the other way. All move in reverse, as if dispersing the power. Watch. Those who are psychic see rays of coloured light going forth. All now, first turn inwards, up and upwards towards the central part of this strange temple. You do this and feel power coming down, power coming up your legs and down your head. Feel this. You may see now a cone of power beginning to form, one coming downwards, point downwards, the other rising from the ground, till it forms the six-rayed star. What is happening? We rise above the temple of the monoliths and we see a mighty cone has formed around the whole square, a circle round the square. The square is 80 foot by 80 foot, 24 in the centre. This cone is ascending to the skies, perfect cone. The inner part of it could be a pyramid, but the outer part is a cone. Spiral cone formed by the spiral dancing. The priesthood, the magicians give forth their blessing. First the enchanters give blessing to all beings.
May all beings be blessed with the power of the Sun Goddess and the power of Kundalini.
May all beings be blessed with the light and love of Kundalini, with her liberating powers. May you receive true wisdom and blessings.
Through all the levels of existences and to all beings, may the radiance of the inner sun shine forevermore.
May goodness, love and harmony be with all beings. In the name of Isis and of Kundalini and of Amaterasu, may all beings be blessed. The she, nature spirits and humans, animals, birds, reptiles, fishes, insects, trees, rainforests, the elements, this earth, all beings in the universe. Small we are, that we may be beloved by those who are greater. Friends, everything has become rather hazy in this strange temple of the monolith. We begin to see it with etheric vision. The stones all have a radiation. They are translucent, as if they were crystal, especially the granite, sparkling with diamonds like mica. Even the slate has a soft, warm, purplish blue colour. The black Kilkenny marble has a serpent-like inner fire through it. And the many-coloured stones we thought little of in the centre now are all radiating. And we notice the company are each picking up a stone. They offer a stone and take one. And we see each is individual. No stone is alike. Each has the inner spark within it. Some put crystal, some put ordinary earthy stones. Take. We know the water descends from on high, and the rain, and is in the earth beneath. And we hearken to the priesthood, giving thanks to the deities, to Isis, to Kundalini, to Amaterasu, and to their divine consorts, the gods. And we notice the shades of evening have fallen in this dark time. A mist has cleared and we see the stars more clearly. How beautiful is the violet-coloured west behind Mount Leinster, with still a pale afterglow. We watch the company now begin to unwind their spiral movements 3 times within the temple, the monolith. And now they slowly leave this temple and begin to move outwards, round and out of the small red door. And they begin to descend the little hill past the lime trees, and they look at the magnificent panorama of our sacred Mount Leinster. And those who are psychics see it rayed with light. But as we look, we see that through the cone of power is the 8-pointed star, the goddess Ishtar, over the coiling spiral of the cone. And this star of Ishtar is rising up and dispersing in rainbow-coloured light, in union with the light on the mountain, and in union with the humble castle settled in its little valley. A rainbow is formed between the Monolith temple and the castle and of Mount Leinster, and good is sent forth through this ceremony to the earth. The company make procession down the hill through the palm garden, and now with them come down the long, dark yew walk. There's light at the end. Come down it. Now rise into the air, and we watch the procession make its way back to the temple of Isis. But we are rising up, because this is not your time and place. You have your own work to do in your own world. So I suggest you come back to your own body. I'll make a sign to help. Good. You're back in your body. I don't recommend going into traffic for about half an hour. Now drink a glass of water. Those helping us are the Reverend Vivian Vernon-Jones, Priestess Hierophant of the Lyceum of Isis of the Stars, and my brother Lawrence Durden Robertson, co-founder of the Fellowship of Isis, and then there is Karen Rainbird of the Lyceum, and that was Kalishtara, now is of Aryan Rod, Isis and Aryan Rod, and there is our priest about to be consecrated, Priest Hierophant, Dave Rankin. And they all wish you well. Bless you. May all beings be blessed. May they all have happiness, and may they all be free from suffering.
May your life be full of life, light, love and liberty. May take our blessings with us and give your blessings to all beings in the same way.
May all my sisters and brothers in the fellowship receive from this our working light of the inner sun in their lives. And my brother and I also wish you every happiness and blessing. You may now want to know something about the Fellowship of Isis. It was founded in 1976 by my brother, his wife Pamela, and myself. And this is, to this date, in a way when you'll be listening, is 1991, and now we have over 10,500 members in 69 countries. And people want to know, how do we manage this? The answer is simple. We are all in rapport in the inner planes. There's a rainbow circulation of light and friendliness between all our countries. So it doesn't matter what religion you belong to. We have people who are Catholics, Protestants, you heard here, Buddhist, Hindu, every type of tradition, united. Now some people may say, isn't this eclectic? The answer is yes. But we only have this blending when there's something we all share in common. For instance, we all share the sun in common. We all share the sign Sagittarius, if we belong to that. In other words, people all over the earth look up at the sky, they see the great bear, and some people say, oh, it's a bear, and other people think it's a cooking pot or a chariot. But they are all influenced by
looking at it. They share it. If you drew it on the sand in any country in the world, any time in ancient Egypt, China, nowadays, they'd all recognize the 7 stars of the Great Bear, even if they had different traditions about it. So our aim in our Magi degree course is to take Mars, for instance, and find what everybody thinks about the red planet. There is a similarity, we notice that, and there are differences. But getting together all these in a kaleidoscope has been very rewarding. It stops these barriers. I mean, I did hear some societies refer to others as the opposition, the blacks. Well, I always reply we have 4,000 are Nigerian members who are black. I mean, what do you mean? Do you mean bad? Why call it black, And what's wrong with one's left hand? I mean, one would be very unbalanced without a left hand. So we haven't any enemies in the Fellowship Society. We don't like when people do wrong, but we are aware we may not be entirely perfect ourselves. Now, if you have any questions you want to ask about the Fellowship, the College of Isis, we had Hierophants who gathered at this ceremony. We had 2 Hierophants, Vivian Vernon-Jones of the Lyceum, and also Karen Rainbird of her Lyceum. These offer Magi degrees through our liturgy. You're not any better, but you can learn something, put it that way, and you may learn to feel improved anyway. Kundalini is a very delicate subject. It used to be absolutely closely guarded secret. But there's no doubt it caused these strange manifestations, stigmata, and various wheals received on the bodies of saints, a sort of spiral red mark which has happened to our members. One of them, channeling Isis, received the top of her head, was burnt, the top skin of her head, from this onset of divine white power, crumbled it somewhat, and she had to have oil on it. So the effects of this is definite, but it was always regarded as a closely guarded secret in Tibet, India, all these places, very properly, because it can be send one either mad or dead, or one could perhaps misuse it. I don't think people realize the Western tradition also had this. I didn't use that in this particular rite I wrote, but it's the Melusina, the serpent goddess, rising up the spine. Sometimes people try to draw that on the crucifix, and they drew a drapery round it, looking like a snake. And it's also the snake in the Bible, which is coiled round the foot of the tree of life, and it's only all right when it rises, i.e. has feet, as it were, or wings. So it's a winged serpent, but it can be dangerous. It's your suppressed subconscious, if you like that. A suppressed power in you can do a great deal of harm. So we believe now it is right to give these teachings forth, because they're published in any case, but perhaps people don't understand about it and may have a sudden, I find a lot of young people have sudden awakening through misuse of drugs, and drugs should not be used because they can permanently damage your chakras. They'll give initial excitement. But anyway, as they know about it in any case, let us tell us how to use it, the balancing power. And above all, the balancing power of the feminine. Why we emphasize the feminine? It's been so rejected, so misused. Not misused, were really neglected. The overemphasis on patriarchy, male qualities, has led to the state our earth is in today. A lot of people still despise the earth, nature. They have to conquer. Man conquers nature. As if everything physical, everything biological is rather disgusting. It's dreadful to know how babies were born. When I was a girl, I was told it was shocking. So this misplaced contempt for all qualities of the feminine has caused, I believe, most of our troubles on the earth today. Because not only is the earthly qualities of the goddess despised, but her psychic powers. It's always considered almost non-you to be psychic, Oh, it's only psychic, I'm spiritual, sort of thing. The male aspect wants to shoot up to the mountain and neglect the soul. Psyche means soul. So we believe in developing the psychic powers as well. I don't usually give a long talk at the end, but I feel that Kundalini needs that explained to you. It's a perfectly natural development in the evolution of humanity. Children have it naturally. They can get bruised and hurt. They talk about it. You can feel a pain in your plexus when somebody says something cruel to you. This hurts your chakra. There are plenty of books on it, admirable books. However, I think I'll read to you from my own, the introduction to Urania, from which this ritual comes. There is a significant change in magical practice. It concerns two centers in the brain connected with the pineal and pituitary glands. They are mental and psychic centers, respectively, the third eye and the inner eye. The outer eye, or the right one, is that of Horus, the famous one. The inner eye, the left, is that of the goddess Urchat. Welsh magicians know this as the owl's eyes of the goddess Blodeuwedd. During the last 3,000 years, the Iron Age, man has been forced in the struggle for survival to develop the left side of the brain. This controls the right side of the body, including the tool-using right hand. Through the left side of the brain has come the use of speech and hence of logic. The linear logical part of the brain has brought about control of man's environment through technology. From discovery of the wheel to the building of atomic reactors, it has given humanity laws and systems of thought. It is the hallmark of civilization. During this period of mental and practical development, the gifts of the right side of the brain, which controls the left side of the body, fell into abeyance and disrepute. Emotions and instinct were assigned to women and children and to primitive tribes. Meanwhile, the psychic centers connected with the brain remained comparatively undeveloped and were not recognized as having any importance. The examination system, whereby the survival of the physically fittest has given place to the survival of the cleverest, has pushed psychic people into the background. Therefore, the very psychic centers, which will help to produce a new human race with visionary and intuitive minds, has been disregarded, feared, and inhibited by those who rule the earth. For people without the powers of vision, telepathy, precognition, and telekinesis will naturally wish to suppress these talents in others. Despite contempt and persecution, the psychic will inherit the earth. Do write to us any time, Clonigor Castle, Enniscorthy, South Island. Sources: Shat Chakra Nirupana, the Nihongi of Japan, Egyptian Magic, Budge, The Cave, Surah 18 from the Quran, and the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Evans Vance. Baraka.